Welcome, Exiles, to another update on the Righteous Fire Elementalist with Mageblood. Now, today, I didn't do too much. I basically just finished up the campaign, and I started changing out a lot of the leveling uniques like Tabula, etc. Got myself a Brass Dome. I did an Awakener Orb craft, but I couldn't really fix it. Basically, I spent all my currency on Mageblood, so it was basically just working with what I had, which wasn't a ton left, to try to just scrape together some okay things. I got some rares that just basically capped my res for Tempered by War and had life on them. I got a pair of boots with some really good suffixes for like 20C, and then I did a keep suffixes reforge, hit life, which was nice, and then I crafted movement speed on it. You see I Crusader Orb, I did that before I did the keep suffixes reforge, because eventually I'd like to put +1 max fire res. That'll cap us to 90 max fire res. Right now we're at 89. The Oak I haven't switched out. Eventually, I believe I'm planning to go for a double scepter, just uber damage setup. But we could also go for a shield with damage on it, but this is just still the same leveling shield. So that's our current setup. We have mana reservation on the helmet. I did go for a Maven Orb on this. I had enough currency for that, but eventually I'd like to Awaken Orb this with minus fire res on nearby enemies, and I would like to try to get life regeneration rate on the third suffixes if I can, but we'll see how the crafting process goes for that. So far, the build's done well. I have one thing that I'm not as happy with, and that's Ascendancy Gentle Touch. The issue with this one is it requires the enemy to be near an affected curse. If somebody you applied to a curse to recently, for the enemy to explode, it has this weird conditionality to it, and it just doesn't feel quite as good as a regular explode chest. To kind of counteract this a little bit, because with Righteous Fire you don't hit enemies a lot, you're normally just walking around and the enemy's dying as you're going past them, you're not inflicting the curse on them. So to counteract that, I did end up fitting in a Herald of Thunder into the build, and it just kind of looks cool. It's got beams going down, but it still isn't quite as consistent as I'd like for explode change. You'll see when we're going to do this. I'm doing a Simulacrum right now. I got this all the way up to 16, skipped the boring 1 through 15 because those are just easy waves. I figured I could showcase 16 to 20, and then maybe cut to the wave I die on. I don't really know what I'm going to get to because I'm only a level 84 character. This isn't exactly a character you should be doing Simulacrum with. We still have our 20 Righteous Fire. We don't have 21-20. The things we do have that are actually somewhat min-maxed are, I had a level Awaken 5 increased AoE, level 5 burning damage, and level 5 LE focus. Those are things I carried over from my other character. I had to sell the 21-20 Val Righteous Fire to afford Mageblood. So main things that we have that are good are our scepter, our chest piece is decent, some awakened gems, but there's a lot of min-maxing to do with this build. And so just wanted to show you, Case, this is the kind of what we're working with on the early setup here, and I'm going to have to be farming currency because there's a lot of upgrades I want to make to this. Our passive tree it's just a basic outline right now. Eventually I think we're going to get a second cluster setup here potentially, and I might be swapping. If I swap out of Arsenaths, I will swap out of the Ignite node for the Golem node, I believe, probably. Not 100% sure on that. I'll be playing around with things, min-maxing it as I go. But anyways, I wanted to showcase doing Simulacrum with our level 80 current setup, just to give you guys an idea of what this character looks like when you're just doing something like a Simulacrum, for example. We'll see. I believe our chain explode should start to fall off. I mean, they were doing okay for the earlier waves, but as you get higher in Delirium, I'm lagging really badly here. I don't know, my computer might not just be able to handle, it might not be able to handle, what's it called? I'm closing out of my browsers that I had open. It might not be handling Streamlabs running as well as Simulacrum at the same time, because when I was running the waves earlier, I wasn't really lagging like this. So hopefully that, I don't know, hopefully it's not too laggy for you guys for showcasing these waves, but we're going to try to anyways. As for character sheet setup, right now we're sitting at 80k armor from our Brass Dome, Determination, and we have a Basalt Flask. And when we hit Molten Shell, we go up to 92k, so the armor's feeling pretty good there. We get a 10k Molten Shell. We're obviously still a 4k life, so our EHP is low, or our HP pool is low, but our EHP is pretty high because of things like 80k armor, things like an 89 max fire res, 81 lightning, 81 cold, almost capped chaos res, and then tempered by war, mixed in with the ruby flask that makes us take less fire damage. It works out pretty well. So I am just going to keep doing these waves. We'll go maybe to 20, see if we can do that without dying. And then I will probably cut the video to the wave we die on or the wave we fail on, because I don't particularly want to make you guys sit through going all the way through 30 waves of Simulacrum. It's a fairly long process, I think, at least. I don't know how long it takes me to do a Simulacrum, but there's a lot of time involved in going between all the waves, especially if you get waves where the monsters have fire res, more monster life, and then you have Compensate and Omniphobia together. Those can be some tanky boys. It's like we will clean up wave 18 here. Ooh, Column Jewel. Nothing else too interesting. Go to wave 18. Simulacrums, by the way, are really good for XP. I started this, I mean, that's kind of obvious, everybody knows they're good for XP, but I started this at level 81, I think, and I'm already level 85, so I guess if you have a character that's decently kitted with gear and you need those early levels, just one Simulacrum will get you a lot of early XP really fast. We'll see how far it takes us to when we die, but so far it's pretty good. It looks like we have a Kosis on the floor. I should probably be a little bit careful about fighting him. Not sure where he's going. Slamming. I'm fairly happy with this current setup, considering our level of scuffed gear and character level with doing that much damage on a wave. Was this wave 18 Kosis? Does he have any defensive mods? He doesn't. Yeah, I didn't think he did. I feel like he would have been a lot more tanky if he had like fire res or something like that. He would definitely have taken longer to kill. But not too shabby. See, we'll probably get one on wave 20 as well, I think. This is really bad lag-wise. I'm sorry, guys. I was thinking that my PC would handle this better, but I think I just can't run Streamlabs very well and Path of Exile at the same time when it comes to a Delirium because of how much stuff is going on, I think. Because earlier when I was running the Simulacrums, it was doing it kind of fine, and now it's like glitching all over the place. So, yeah, sorry about that. I just wish it was performing better. This is our Omniphobia. Okay, and I think that's everything. Okay, move on and go ahead and do wave 20, and then I will cut to whatever wave I die on. I'll just let you know. I don't expect for our current setup to do wave 30. I don't expect it at all because our current gear is, beside Mageblood and our Scepter and the Brass Dome, our gear is relatively scuffed as is, and we're a level 85 character. There's a lot of power you get out of additional passives that we... Oh, are we gonna die here? Not quite, we almost died there. That was a little bit rough. What are we dealing with? Crit doesn't help them. Monster damage, gain fizz is cold. They have a decent amount of damage mods on them. I will say this, one thing I noticed when I was playing this on Trickster is evasion feels really good in Simulacrum, because it feels like most of the monsters in Simulacrum are attack-based. That's one thing I noticed. There's definitely, you can tell when you're playing an evasion-based character, you can tell when you're fighting spell-based mechanics, spell-based bosses, etc. Because it feels really bad. It feels like you go from being very, very tanky to not tanky at all. And Simulacrum was definitely the feeling of, we're very tanky in here. And so, I'd be semi-tempted to maybe see if I could fit Grace into this build if I'm dropping Herald of Thunder. I think it could be possible, in which case we could get a fair amount of evasion, which would feel really good defensively on top of what we already have going. But I don't know if I'll actually do that or not. Okay, that was wave 20. I'll go ahead and cut this video to whichever wave I die on. I'll let you guys know. Welcome to the future. And we died on wave... This is either 24 or 25. I actually forgot to check, or slash I don't remember 100%, but the monsters had more monster life and fire res 77, which is huge. It makes us deal very little damage. When monsters get their life pool increased significantly along with getting a huge amount of fire res, it becomes extremely hard. I think when we get more min-max, we'll be able to clean through a wave like this, but at our current state, level 80, whatever, and not exactly kitted to the teeth, this is something that's going to hard stop us, obviously. And they had double gain damage, monster damage. This is not good map mods for us. It's basically every map mod there is bad for us, minus the reduced crit and the crit chance. But, you know, I'm pretty happy with this. Early state of the build, I think getting through to 23, 24, 25, or whatever it is we're at, not too shabby for a Righteous Fire character. But it's room to grow. We got a lot of gear we can improve upon. There's a lot of things I want to still, you know, min-max in the build, and I'm happy with this. So, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this update to the character, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace out, guys.